Okay, hi everybody. I just want to take a little bit of time. I'm going to go through, we're going to call this an intro to yoga class as I'm fixing my hair and looking at you guys. So I just want to take you through, we're not even going to really do a flow today. I just want to take you through each of the poses to explain them to you, the ones that I use most commonly in my classes, so that I can explain them to you so then you can pick up and join one of the yoga strength or one of the yoga flow classes and feel confident that you know, when I say, chair pose, what that looks like. When I say warrior one, what that looks like, it kind of cues so you know going in to one of those other classes what you're in store for. So let's go ahead. We're going to start in how I always start my classes. Every single flow or yoga strength class, I always start in what's called Supta Baddha Konasana. So Supta Baddha Konasana. Make sure I'm not too far away from you guys. I'm going to scooch up just a little bit. So in Supta Baddha Konasana, you lay flat on your back. The soles of your feet are together. So the soles of the feet are together. Your knees go wide. You draw your shoulders away from your ears. Your arms can stay down by your sides. Palms face up. You can take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. So Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta means lying back. Baddha Konasana means the shape of your legs. So this is how I start every single class. And in every single class, we'll start here, and I'll cue you to breathe. So we're going to talk, I'll cue you here too about a little about Ujjayi breath. So in Supta Baddha Konasana, in the beginning of class, I will cue you to start to lengthen out your breath, meaning each time you breathe in, you think about drawing out that breath, making it a little bit longer. Extend it out, so each time you breathe in, think you're expanding the heart, chest, sending the breath even into the belly. Open up, and then even when you're at the top of your breath, you think of inhaling just a little bit more. So in the beginning of class will always be Supta Baddha Konasana, and I'll cue you guys about the breath, lengthening it out. And then as you exhale, you think of pressing the air out of your lungs. So you press the air out of your lungs, draw your ribs towards one another. If you want, if you're doing this with me, you can come out of Supta Baddha Konasana right now, and we'll talk a little bit about Ujjayi breath. So just sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. And I want you to take your tongue, press it to the roof of your mouth and kind of behind your back teeth. Your front teeth, not back teeth, front teeth. So the mouth is closed. Tongue is to the roof of the mouth, pressing behind your front teeth. Draw your shoulders down your back. Again, eyes stay closed. You're going to inhale and exhale through your nose. So you're inhaling and exhaling through your nose only. And it becomes audible. So as you breathe in, breathe out. Constricting that space right in the back of your throat. So this is what we call in yoga Ujjayi breath. This is the inhale. Exhale through the nose. What that does, our Ujjayi breath, it is audible. So you can hear yourself breathing, but it creates heat. So it creates heat in the body. Every time you breathe in and out through your nose, you're creating that internal heat tapas within your body. As we practice yoga, I always cue the Ujjayi breath because, again, it increases that internal heat in the body. But if you ever want to let heat go, if you get too hot in a class, you can then inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and release some of that heat out. So Supta Baddha Konasana, flat on your back, soles of the feet together, knees go wide. And then you start that Ujjayi breath, that inhale and exhale through the nose only. So now we've got Ujjayi, we've got Supta Baddha Konasana. Next thing we'll go through is cat and cow. So in cat and cow, you come to tabletop position. Your shoulders are stacked right over your wrists. Your knees are right underneath your hips. So the hips and knees are in the same line. Your feet are hip distance apart. And you press the tops of the feet into the mat. So we're not here. Sometimes I will cue here, but most likely the tops of the feet are going to be pressed into the mat. Your toes, spread your toes wide, and you press the tops of your feet into the mat, and like into the toenails even. Pressing the ground away. So this is just tabletop. Drawing the low belly in towards your spine. So see the spine stays nice and flat. And then when I cue cow, cow is dropping in the belly, arch the back, tailbone tilts. You look forward, or if it's okay in your neck, you look up. So that's cow. Cat, you reverse it. You press the ground away. So if you can see that I press the ground away, I pull my belly button in, round, mid-back's rising up towards the ceiling, chin draws in towards your chest. So cow is dropping the belly, arch the back, look up. Cat, press the ground away, draw your chin towards your chest. So again, that mid-back's rising. We'll do it one more time. So inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Press the ground away, belly pulls in. And then come back to neutral. So that's usually, again, how I'll start a class, especially a yoga flow class. Yoga strength might start out a little bit differently, but that's cat and cow. Another one we'll do quite frequently, we'll go right to down dog. So we'll take you to down dog, curl your toes under. So you press your toes into the mat, start in that tabletop, just like you were in cat and cow. You're going to press your feet into the mat, palm onto the feet, lift your hips. So the tailbone goes up towards the ceiling. You do not have to straighten out your legs. There's no rule in yoga that says when you're in down dog, the legs have to be straight and the heels have to come down towards the ground. No rule, doesn't exist. Do what feels good in your body. But when you think about downward facing dog, you want to think about it as the shape of an upside down V. So your hands, your fingers are spread as wide as you can get them. You grip the mat with your fingertips. Sometimes that creates a little bit of space underneath the palms, which is fine. Rotating the biceps and triceps towards your ears, you press the ground away and tilt the tailbone a little bit higher. So you want to think about as you're drawing your chest towards your thighs, the tailbone tilts up. Again, feet are hip width distance apart. Heels do not have to go down towards the ground. If you're up here, that's totally fine. The more you practice, you'll open up through the hamstrings and those heels will start to melt down a little bit closer towards the ground. And in downward facing dog, we think about, again, pressing the ground away, lift the tailbone a little bit higher. And there's no tension in the back of the neck. So the head isn't here looking at the fingertips. You want to let your head just hang. Next, I'll take you to forward fold. So you're going to lift high up on your toes. Just tiptoe your feet up to your hands. Actually, let's take it to ragdoll. Keep your feet hip width distance apart. Bend into both knees, and I just want your upper body to hang. Think from your hips all the way down to your shoulders. Upper body is just hanging. All tension out of the back of your neck. From here, you're going to grab opposite elbows. So the right hand grabs the left elbow, left hand grabs the right. We hang here in ragdoll. And then in class, I'll also cue sway side to side. So when you sway in ragdoll, again, you want to think about the upper body is just moving from side to side. It's not here. People have a tendency to do this when they're in ragdoll. They just swing their arms. I want you to think of it as a unit from all the way from your hips, all the way to your elbows is one unit as you sway from side to side. And the upper body is just hanging, and that's ragdoll. From ragdoll, release your fingertips to the mat, toe heel your feet together. This is forward fold. So we do this a lot in class, forward fold all the time. Again, you can always keep your knees bent in forward fold if you're tight in your hamstrings. As in everything in yoga, this is your practice. So if something doesn't feel good to you that I cue, eventually when you teach it, you modify it. So again, if your forward fold might not be here, that's fine. Bend your knees. No big deal. Halfway lift. So this is another pose that I cue, we do all the time. Halfway lift, the fingertips can stay down, but you've got to be really open in your hamstrings in order for the fingertips to stay down on the ground. Typically what I like to do is I take my fingertips to my shins, I lift halfway up so the legs can stay bent or straighten. Press the fingertips into the shins, flatten out your back, draw your shoulders away from your ears. And the gaze should be straight down. So think about it as a long line from the crown of the head, through the neck, through my shoulders, right down to my hips. So it's a flat back. We have a tendency, a lot of people will do this, round their back, but I want you to think in halfway lift, you press the chest down and then send the tailbone straight back. And then forward fold again, we'll just take that for a second. Tadasana, mountain pose. So bend into your knees, rise all the way up. So I'll keep mountain pose. So it's either here, sweeping all the way up, or mountain pose can just be here. Soles of the feet together. Drawing your shoulders down your back, palms face forward. Okay, so Tadasana, what I cue Tadasana in class is Tadasana, rise all the way up, fingertips to touch over your head, forward fold, hands draw back through heart, hinge at the hips, fold all the way forward. High plank, so we'll step back, pose number 3 or 4 or whatever we're at, I can't even remember. High plank, so in your high plank here, feet hip width distance apart, lift your kneecaps, press the ground away, pull your belly in. So this is your high plank. I'll cue this all the time in class. When we lower down to the mat in class, I'll cue shift forward onto your toes, lower all the way down to the mat, your belly will come flat. Next pose is cobra. Flip your feet, tops of your feet are into the mat, draw your shoulders back by your side ribs. Cobra, press into the palms, head and chest lifts. Okay, so here's cobra position and then forward fold again. Cobra, will lift it up. That's on an inhale. You inhale, lift up to cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Last time, cobra lift. Now we'll talk about child's pose. So child's pose, toes together, knees wide, almost to the outer edges of your mat. Press into your palms, sink your hips onto your heels, forehead comes to the mat. So here's child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat and then shift your head. I always cue this too. Shift your head from side to side. You massage that space right between your eyes. It's considered your third eye center. It's like your intuition. It's your guide right here. So there's child's pose. And then we'll go back to downward facing dog. 3-legged dog. So from downward facing dog, 3-legged dog, just lift one leg. So the right leg lifts. Square off the shoulders when you're in 3-legged dog. Press the palms into the mat, and then that right leg stays nice and high. You can open up the hips, so drawing the right hip over the left, or keep the hips closed. Again, when I teach, I'll cue this because sometimes we switch it up. Low lunge. So that's the next one. The 1 foot will step. The back knee will drop. You're nice and deep into that front leg. The knee in low lunge, front knee over the ankle. So you want to make sure that's in alignment. The joints are stacked, knee over ankle. We don't want it where the foot is back here and the knee is way forward past your ankle. So you kind of have to check yourself. Sometimes you might need to do it in front of a mirror just so you can see. So that knee stays over the ankle. Nice and long stance here. We're opening up through the hip flexor. And through your hips. And I'll cue this always that we shift back and forth. It never has to stay static. From here, revolved crescent. So you're going to take your opposite hand from the foot that's in front, down to the mat. The other arm will reach high. You'll curl the back toes under, press into the ball of that foot, lift the back knee. So this is a revolved crescent. Standing splits, we're just going to go from here because it's an easy transition. You're going to frame the front foot and the back leg comes up, whatever, doesn't matter how high it goes. You can keep a little bend in that base leg. And standing splits, think about the crown of the head drawing down towards the ground, pressing through the heel of the base leg, lifting from the back of the lifted leg, back of the thigh of the lifted leg. And then lower the leg to forward fold. I'll talk you through chair pose. So chair pose. Face you. Balls of the feet will touch. Heels will split. Knees press towards one another. You sink into your hips. So we're here. You sink into your hips. The hip points draw towards one another as you drop into your hips and arms reach up high. You're here, fingers spread wide. And shoulders are pulling down your back. You dip deeper into the hips. Your arms can stay here. Sometimes people have tight shoulders, so you can always cactus out. If you want to keep your arms down, again, your practice, you do what feels good to you. But in chair pose, I'll cue here. Weight goes into the heels. So you should be able to wiggle your toes. But I will cue weight in the heels, lift and spread your toes. So you keep energy in the feet, arms reach up. So here's chair. Beautiful. From here, we'll talk, let's go to downward facing dog. Just to kind of regroup for a second. So downward facing dog, a lot of the times in class, well, very, very, very frequently, I will use core plank. So I will show you what those look like. We'll start in down dog, lift your right leg high. You're going to shift forward and draw your knee in towards your nose. So as you shift forward, shoulders come over the wrists, bend the right knee. It comes in towards your nose. As you draw it in towards your nose, you press the ground away and pull the belly in. So that's knee to nose. Send it back up, three-legged dog. Right knee, right tricep. So same idea, shift forward, shoulders come past the wrist just a little bit. Right knee pulls in towards the right tricep. And then send it back up, three-legged dog. Right knee, left tricep. Again, same idea, shift. Right knee comes towards the left tricep and you shorten your waist on the left side of your body. And then three-legged dog. Now I'll take you to warrior one. Right foot will step forward. You're spinning the left heel down. Press into both feet as you sweep up. So I'll face you. Again, you've got your right foot forward. Left heel spins. So the left toes are out towards the left, deep into the right thigh. Typically in warrior one, the heel of your front foot will line up with the instep of your back foot. You draw the left hip forward and the right hip pulls back, but always options because people are tight in their hips. You don't have to stay like on a tightrope like this. If you want to, you can bump this left foot out. If that feels better for you, both arms sweep high. Again, always that issue with the shoulders. If you're tight in your shoulders and you want to drop your arms, drop your arms. But I will typically cue arms up or Kali Mudra, which is interlacing all the hands all the fingers except for your index finger and your thumb. And you press up and pull the biceps and triceps towards the ears, and then you drop deeper into the front leg. You want to think about the right thigh as almost being parallel with the ground. And again, take a peek in front of your right knee to see your right big toe. If you can't see your right big toe, tendency that this right foot's back too far, then again, that knee goes over the ankle. We want to keep it stacked. So if you can see your big toe, that typically means your knee is right over your ankle and you're in a good spot. Okay, so from warrior one, we'll open it up to warrior two. So I'm going to say we're here in warrior one, open up warrior two. So we shift a little. The left toes will kind of angle back towards the back of your mat. So you open up that foot, the left foot a little. You drop deeper into your right thigh. Arms spread wide. Again, people have a tendency in warrior two to look like this. They're reaching towards their front foot. What I like to see in warrior two is the shoulders stack directly over your hips, and then you drop straight down. So it's nice and deep into your thighs. Joints are stacked. Shoulders over hips, knee over ankle, arms wide. Spread the fingers as wide as you can get them. And then gaze will go right over the middle finger of your front hand. Okay. From here, we'll take you to reverse warrior. So you stay low. The back hand grabs, or it doesn't grab, reaches for either your thigh or your calf of your back foot. Legs stay low, and you just reach up, open up through the side of the right side if your right leg is forward. Nice and long. So this is reverse warrior. Side angle is typically what I'll go to next. The right forearm comes to your right thigh. So again, we stay low on our legs this entire time. The left arm reaches nice and long. So you want to think about a long line from the left hand to your left shoulder, to the left outer hip, to the outside of your left foot. Okay, so you kind of press the pinky toe of your left foot into the mat as you reach in side angle. So you open up through the left side of your body. Draw the right shoulder coming forward. Left shoulder pulls back. And you spiral your chest up towards the ceiling. So this is side angle. There's always options in side angle to take it to extended side angle. That means the right hand comes all the way down to the ground. Upper arm presses into your kind of thigh or knee of your right leg. And then the left arm reaches. Okay, so we've got warrior one, warrior two, reverse, side angle. We've done standing splits. We've done chair, cat cow. What else do we want to do next? We'll talk about high crescent lunge. So I do high crescent lunge quite a bit as well. So go back to down dog. We'll take it to our core plank just to practice that, and then we'll take it to a high crescent lunge. So you're in your downward facing dog. Shake out your legs. Let's do it with the left leg, just to give you our, even you out. Lift your left leg high. Knee to nose, shift forward again. Shoulders past your wrist, press the ground away, knee pulls in. Three-legged dog, send it up and back. Left knee, left tricep, shift and touch. Again, take it up and back, big breath in. Under the body, left knee to the right tricep. Three-legged dog, send it up and back. High crescent lunge. So the left foot steps high on the ball mount of the right foot. So it's different from warrior one because you stay on your toes. Press into both feet. Sweep it up. So when you are in a high crescent lunge, again, you want to take a peek. Make sure the left leg's forward. You see your left toes in front of your left knee. So that means joints are stacked. Knee over ankle, dropping down. You're pulling the left heel back towards your right toe. So the legs scissor. And you lift the kneecap on your back leg. So this is on my right leg. I lift the kneecap. When that happens, I engage my quads. So my legs are super strong and stable. Both arms sweep up. And again, the belly's pulling in, kind of in and up, keeping the core engaged. And then always shoulders pulling away from the ears, fingers spread wide. So here's your high crescent lunge. We use that one quite a bit. I'll use cactus out your arms, bend your back knee to hover. Do that quite a bit as well. And then this opens up your chest. You draw the elbows back in space. Lift your chest, lift up and out of your waist, lay back, look up. Good, and then reach back up, breathe in. Draw your hands to your heart. Take a breath, shake out your legs. It's a long time to hold that high crescent lunge. So shake out your legs. Oh, let's see, baby eagle. Baby eagle I do quite a bit as well. And it's typically I do it after a standing splits. So let's go standing splits, standing on your left leg. Since we already did it on your right, just want you to stand on the left, take your hands to your hips, and just hinge all the way down, take it to standing splits. So again, crown of the head's drawing down. You're pressing through the heel of your base leg as you lift from the back of the lifted leg. Take a big breath in. We'll take it to baby eagle. Baby eagle, bend the base leg. Bend the top knee, you pull the right knee. Since we're on the left leg, the right knee pulls into the left calf. Options here, fingertips can stay down. Back foot can prop. It's really up to you how it feels in your body. But most challenging is back foot lifted, hands come up towards the heart. So when the hands come up towards the heart, thumb knuckles press against the sternum, shoulders roll back. So you want to think about this as flat back, belly's pulling in. So we're not here in baby eagle. Rounding and crouching, we want to think long. So as you press, kind of pressing the chest down towards the ground and the thumb knuckles come towards the sternum, it lengthens out again, all the way from crown to neck to hips, right to the tailbone. So it's nice and long. From here, we'll take it to half moon. So you don't have to go right away. Half moon is a nice opening up. Again, it's stacking of the joints. So the shoulders will stack on top of each other. The hips will stack on top of each other. So half moon, good thing with half moon, or a good thing to have in half moon, is a block for underneath your base hand. I'm going to grab something real quick just to show you. If you don't have a yoga block, you can grab a weight. You can kind of grab anything that can give you just a little support. So half moon, we'll start here. I want you to start standing up. Take your left foot forward, toes facing the top of your mat. You've got a block and you need it, you're taking it in your left hand. You want your right hand to come to your hip, and then just slowly you're going to hinge down. Your hand can come to the top of your block. Your right hip is going to start drawing over the left. Flex your right toes. Hand can stay at your hip or option to reach the right arm up. So here's half moon. And you're always pressing the ground away, lifting your kneecap on the base leg. That gets it nice and stable and strong. Top foot is always rotating back. So the pinky toe of the right foot is thinking about pulling to the back, towards the back wall. Good. There's half moon. And then forward fold, lower it down. Ooh, roll all the way up, nice and slow. Good. Sweep both arms up as you breathe in. And then just cactus out your arms, open your chest, lay back. Reach back up as you inhale. And then take your hands to your heart and just kind of hang out here for just a second. So I think we're going to end there. That's a pretty good kind of intro to some of our basic, the basic poses and asanas. I lost my wording there for a second. Asana means pose. So Supta Baddha Konasana means the asana part, that means pose. So those are some of the basic poses that I will use in class. At least get you started. And from there, again, maybe you guys can tell me what you want to see. You want to see more of something. You want me to explain a certain pose. Just let me know and I'll talk you through all of it. So I hope you guys have a great day and we'll see you soon. Bye. Bye-bye.